But let's try to get serious now. The problem with our current system is that we're trying to multiply and multiply and multiply our wealth by stealing from others who have gathered wealth and killing them to have their wealth, to have their land. I mean, this isn't new, and it's not as even as bad as it used to be. Before, it was quite normal that if you're out there digging in your garden, some local fellow from the village next door, he'd come by with his army and kill you all, steal your women and rape them and kill them, and then take your children and make slaves out of them, and if they were pretty enough. Otherwise they would kill them as well. And so this tendency of a society, you start to wonder, is the human race actually at all sane? And when you get a high society out of a bunch of mad killer apes, what are you relating to? If everything is done on murder, how high is a murdering society? And I think what we have to think about is having a high society that isn't basing its highness on blood. We go to our churches and we drink the blood of the Lamb, or we drink the blood of Jesus Christ, or we drink the blood of the third world nations, we drink the blood of the fuckers we killed in the last war, we drink the blood, we drink the blood, we drink the blood to get high. Well, we've got to find a new thing to do. I don't suggest we all smoke drugs, because if you smoke drugs all day, you don't have the energy to get up and do really nice videos. I wouldn't do something like this if I was high. As a matter of fact, I might get high a little bit later and not do this anymore. But the point, okay, imagine this in a high society. George Bush gets really high one day and he's talking to people, and I mean, that you can't do that in a normal high society, because in a normal high society you have to have all your citizens is your scum that you abuse and stuff. But if you're sitting around on Sunday having one of these high days, and you could sit there and somebody could say to George, I bet you can't win the Nobel Peace Prize. Of course, I mean, we've seen already that, what's his name did that, the Al Gore guy, he didn't sign the Kutu thing when he had the chance, because he knew, well, he wouldn't get away with it, because presidents aren't allowed to do what they want to do, because presidents have no power. But if you were high and you thought you could have power, like Kennedy thought he had power, and the military showed him awful quick, yeah, when the military arranged to have him shot. But we're not talking politics right now. We're talking the possibility that if George Bush got really, really high, one day he could wake up and he could say, well, society, I think I'm really high, and just to show you how really fucking twisted I am, I'm going to stop killing people for oil, and I'm going to start getting really serious about peace and the environment. And I think what I'm going to try to do is win the Environmental Peace Nobel Prize. And this will be a really fucking twisted one. And I'm going to explain to you the possibility that George Bush... the chokes me up. Or what about this rat singer guy? Imagine this rat singer, this Nazi, what do you call him? The Pope fucker. Now the Pope is a real prick. The Pope is worse than that George Bush, actually, because the nice thing about George Bush is he doesn't lie to us. I mean, he tells us lies, but he tells us lies so that we know he's lying to us. He comes and he says, look, we wanted to take the buildings down at what do you call them? The two twin trade towers, the trade towers, the ones where they do all the criminal dealings. And they wanted to have, what they wanted to do, they wanted to have an excuse to go and bomb another country, because they needed the price of oil to go up so they could make some more cash. And so they went over to get one of his friends to knock down the towers. And then, what were we talking about? Oh yeah, we weren't talking about George, we were talking about the piss-ass Pope. And the piss-ass Pope, now if he could get, he thinks he's high as fucking society, but the piss-ass Pope, he is such a fucking prick. And what were we talking about?